drugs. I'm married to the F. Pistol under the battery, dope in the dash.
Is. Oh, we're sick with it. We is. Super sick with it.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Sickwood here, coming to you with the Magicka Nightblade PvP build video for the Murkmire patch. I've been using this build for the last couple of months. It's fun to play. It's not that easy to get. It's not that hard either. But I have fun playing it. People can say it's cheesy or whatever, but who really cares? I don't really care. It's a game. We have fun with it. So let's jump right into it. So we are an Argonian. You could use Breton or High Elf on this build. I'm an Argonian because I like the survivability. I know they're going to be messing with some of the passives to the races coming up in the next patch or so, but in my videos that I've made in the previous weeks and months, I'm a High Elf. High Elves do hit harder, in my opinion. I feel the difference, and you can see the difference, but I'm an Argonian for right now. I might switch it back depending on what they do in the next update or patch, whatever you want to call it. So it's to your discretion. This is what I use. I still have fun using it, so it's completely up to you. We are using Witch Mother's Potent Brew. We do have some alternative foods that we sometimes run, but right now we're using Witch Mother's, and we are using the Boon Atronach. The Boon Atronach is for recovery. So if you want to run max mag, more damage, crit damage, that's completely up to you. But I run the Atronach because we are a permacloak on this build. So as you can see here, we have 36k max mag, 24k health, and 10k stam. Spell damage is at 2515, and critical is 50%. 1900 spell or magic recovery on this right here. So let's buff up here. So as you can see there, that's what we were dealing with when we drink a pot. 2200 mag recovery. Spell damage is at 2995. It goes over 3.2k once you go into stealth, and we're still sitting at 50.6% crit. So that's what we're rocking with now. So what we are using is spinners, Inferno Staff, Nirnhound. You can use Infused, but I like Nirnhound because of the extra damage. We all know what Spinners does. You can get it in the regional vendors, and I forgot which region it is that you can get, or you can get it in traders. If you can't use Spinners, you can run with War Maiden or Spell Strategist. Okay, Spell Strategist is really, really good. But because it can be cleansed by other players and by Templars, it kind of defeats the purpose of running it. So I'm running Spinners because a lot of people are wearing heavy armor, and that helps me get through the resistances that they may have. So I'm running with Spinners. Back bar, you don't need Spinners back bar. I'm running with a random infused spell damage and weapon enchant on it. Now, if you want to run a spell damage glyph on the front, you can. It'll probably hit a lot harder. I just haven't got around to do it, but this is what I use, so I'll probably end up putting the weapon damage and spell damage glyph on the front bar, because right now I'm running with the shock. The shock does an incredible amount of damage as well, because it goes with your light attacks or heavy attacks, but the weapon damage and spell damage might be a little bit better. So, Molokina's Mask, infused, with the Tristat. Now, you could use Impen, it's completely up to you. I just have it like this because I've had it like this for a while now. We all know what Molokina does. One piece adds weapon or spell damage. And last but not least, we are running Bellorgs, Pauldrons. We're running the 511 setup for the Undaunted. Bellorgs, we all know what this does as well. It's one of the new sets from the Wolf Hunter DLC. It's the same thing as Kina, one piece as weapon damage or spell damage. And then Kalarians is what we are running with our second set. Kalarians can be found in Fang Lair. I haven't got around to get the jewelry or the stabs yet. I plan on trying to do that, but I don't want to go through all that mess because it's just too hard for me. I'm not a PvE player, obviously. If you don't know what Colarians does, it's 2-piece spell critical, 3-piece spell damage, 4-piece spell critical, 5 pieces. When you deal critical damage with a single target Magicka ability, you launch a fire, ice, shock, or disease ball at your target that deals 18,576 damage and applies a status effect. This effect can occur every 10 seconds. So this right here works perfectly with a Nightblade because everything that you do in stealth is a crit guaranteed. So when you deal critical damage, this is bound to happen 100% of the time. So yeah, and it's only a 10-second cooldown, which is absurd. I'm surprised they haven't nerfed it yet, but I have a feeling they will. But right now we're enjoying it. So we're using Colarians on the body. The big pieces we're using Impen. The little pieces we have Divines. And on the neck and rings, we're running Arcane and 1 recovery glyph. And the rest is spell damage. Now you can run all spell damage, but I like having the permacloak ability, being able to sneak through zergs and go through and pick and choose your targets and cause chaos while people are sieging. While people are standing there waiting for the resource to flip, you kill them, cause havoc. This is what this build is made for. It's made for ganking. So, that's why we have it here like this. So spinners and Colarians, Balor piece, and a Malakina piece. Random infused. Now you could use defending or powered as well. I just have infused because I don't know why. And then the Inferno staff. Make sure it's Nirnhund. Oh yeah, the consumables, we're using Witch Mother's Potent Brew, and if you want to use something better or something else, Ghastly Eyeball. You don't get the max health, but you do get a little extra recovery and a little bit of extra max mag. You will be squishy as hell, in my opinion, but you'll have extra recovery and mag, which does help in the long run. If you don't have a Kina, you could use a Shadowrun for more recovery, or you could run a dummy house instead for the extra stam and Magicka. So it's up to you. It's however you want to do it. But I like having the damage. The damage is what's important because this is a hit and run build. You go with stealth, you hit them, put them to sleep, and move on, or wait for another target. As you can see in the videos that I've posted, the Art of the Magblade 1 through 4, I believe it is now. Check those out if you haven't. You'll see what I mean by a hit and run build. So let's go to the skills. Crushing Shock. Crushing Shock, we all know what it does. You can use Swallow Soul if you want, but Crushing Shock just does so much more damage. Again, if you check out those videos, you can see that Crushing Shock does so much more damage than Swallow Soul, and it just, yeah, and it throws them off balance. If they're sieging and you hit them with this, it's gonna throw them off balance because it's considered casting. So people who are on siege and you hit them with this, it's gonna throw them off balance, and you get to go through and finish your combo. Okay, so I run Crushing Shock. I know some other people use different things, but this is what I use. The next skill that we have is Concealed Weapon. While you're sneaking, your movement speed is increased by 25%, and if you hit them while you're in stealth or invisible, you can knock them off balance. So I use Concealed Weapon because when I'm in stealth, it allows me to move faster and just get around because we don't have a gap closer. We don't use gap closers on this build. You can if you want to, but I preferably don't like it. And then Cloak. We all know what Cloak does. The reason why we use Colarians with this build is because you're guaranteed a critical strike, and Colarians procs off of a critical damage. So if you're in stealth and you hit somebody with a critical hit, then Colarians is for sure to proc, and then you can go through and finish the rest of your combo. So Shadowy Disguise. Merciless Resolve, 8% extra damage for 20 seconds, and sometimes this does get a chance to proc. After you've ganked someone or you've ganked multiple people, your arrow is ready, and you can literally, depending on who they are and how much impen they have, you can 1 or 2 shot somebody with this arrow. I promise you. You can see it in the videos that I've posted. Inner Light. Inner lights. The reason why we use this build or this skill is because we have more max mag. We get to pull people out of stealth, and it increases our critical rating. So it does a lot for us. If you don't want to run inner light, you don't have to. You can run impale, but I prefer to run inner light because sometimes on this build you don't even need to execute because everything goes off at once and they just collapse and die. Our ultimate is Soul Harvest. Now some people do use in cap. But I don't like running in cap on this build just due to the fact that while it's slotted, anytime you kill an enemy, you gain 10 ultimate. So you get 10 ultimate when you kill someone, you drink a potion, you get more ultimate, and then you get more ultimate just from being in combat. And then some of the passives from the Alliance War that we'll talk about here. Let's see. Combat Frenzy. You generate 20 ultimate when you kill an enemy player. So that's why we have Soul Harvest, because you're getting all that ultimate back. You're able to get your Soul Harvest back, because it only costs 70 points, I believe, right? It only costs 70 ultimate, yeah. So you get your ultimate back extremely fast. So that's on the front bar: Crushing Shock, Concealed Weapon, Cloak, Merciless, Inner Light, and Soul Harvest. Now, if you don't want to run Merciless, you don't have to. You can run, let's see here, Channeled Acceleration. Or you can run Elemental Weapon. It's strictly up to you. So, back bar. We are running Mirage. If you don't want to run Mirage, you can run the Shadow Image. Leeching Strikes. I have the Stamina Morph because I run out of stamina more than I do Magicka. Or you can run Channel Acceleration or Scorching Flare, because everyone seems like it's a Nightblade, and those are the hardest ones to gank next to the tanks. This is the defensive bar, so Crippling Grasp. When you hit somebody with it, you get Major Expedition for while they're snared. Usually they don't know what's happening because they're trying so hard to get to you. Hit them with this Crippling Grasp, you get the snare, you get the Major Expedition, and you just take off. This is a hit and run build. This is not something that you're going to want to try and X on. You can, it's possible, but the way that I play, it's just pick and choose your targets, find the weak one, and do the damage that you have to do. Mass Hysteria, Fear. We all know what this is. Again, this is a defensive bar. Mass Hysteria, Fear. Get the enemy off you, cloak away, come back and do it again. Harness Magicka. You can use Dampen Magicka. People are going to ask, why do you use shields? Sometimes you get hit with things. You know, sometimes you get caught. You get caught slipping. You try to gank someone and they're, they have a lot of impen on. They're really tanky, or somebody sees you from far away. They will come out and hit you. And so if you run with this right here, you get more Magicka back. Allows you to cloak, fear, do what you got to do. So I run shields because I do like to survive and come back. Healing Ward, we all know what this does. I'm not going to go into it. And Undo. You can use Soul Tether, Light's Champion, or Ice Comet if you want to be a dick. There's no need for it. Undo, it's the Sigic Order skill line, the ultimate. I will morph it into Temporal Guard. So that's what I'm going to morph it into, Temporal Guard, to reduce the damage. So this skill, you can run anything you want. It's just like a random skill or a random slot that I have here. So that's what I'm running on my back bar. This is the front bar again. Champion points. 23 in the Warlord, 33 in the Siphoner. I don't know why I have 33 in the Siphoner. I think it's because I was dueling and I switched my champion points around just to, mess around. 19 in Tenacity, 75 in Arcanist, 46 in the Tumbling, and 74 in the Befouled. So the Mage, we have 40 in the Elfborn, 64 in the Ellie Defender, or Ellie Expert, and 51 into Spell Erosion. 43 into Staff Expert, and Master at Arms, we have 72. We have nothing in the Ritual. 81 Ironclad, 69 into Resistant, 32 hardy, 32 LE defender, 31 thick skinned, and 25 into quick recovery. So that's the build video, guys. I know some people might not like it because they think it's cheesy, they think it's kind of lame and it's cheap, but like I said, ganking is not supposed to be honorable. Ganking is taking advantage of your opponent, not paying attention, not being aware of who you are, where you are. They get caught slipping, you take care of them. That's what ganking is all about. So if you don't like the video, I'm sorry, or like the sets, I do apologize. But this is what I use, and I have fun with it. So then at the end of the day, it's a game, guys. You're supposed to have fun with it, right? So if you guys like the video, thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' support, you guys' comments and everything. And, you know, I'll keep putting out videos. I've been playing on my Magicka a lot, and I know I said I was going to get this build video to a couple of people who've been commenting and communicating with me, and I apologize it took so long, but it's finally here. There's the build. So thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it, and see you guys around, man.
Coming about a half a block, got a dent in my ceiling from doing a robot. Catch all kind of buzz from all kind of thugs. They offer designer, all kind of drugs. I'm married to the air, pistol under the battery, dope in the dash.